We're going to talk about another sort of class or type of fills. The fills that we looked at in the first part, in the previous tutorial, they were static, sometimes they were running, but they didn't have a uniquely melodic feel to them. They were really just filler. Now we want to look at fills that really emphasize a melodic direction. They amplify the existing melody, or they take pieces of it. And also, they're going to really help draw a connection between the upper and the lower register. So, for example, if I'm playing here, you see that I'm swapping back and forth between those. So when you're doing these kind of fills, you really want to consider the start and the end note. Let me just play a really simple example. I'll take an excerpt from the chorus of Great Is Thy Faithfulness in the key of E flat. So. I'm on basically an A flat chord, and I'm going to use a downward fill on a harmonic sixth. And I'm going to land here. So let me do that again. So you see that I considered where I was going to start. And I considered where I'd land. In this case, I picked up the melody. So you can use harmonic sixths downward. You can also use them up. For example, if I'm in the key of F. You see that I've just called them harmonic sixth runs. Now, in each case here, I needed to know where I was going to land. So it's all going to be contingent, again, upon your starting harmony. Does the beginning of your run fit with the harmony that you're starting from? And is the run going to end at a place that fits both the top note that you want to emphasize as well as the chord underneath it? You can also use another kind of fill you can use would be called open octaves. So let me go back again to Great Is Thy Faithfulness. So you see there I was just in open octaves, and that does several things. First, it fills from a rhythmic standpoint. It fills those spaces. Now again, as a reminder, you don't always need to fill those spaces. Sometimes you can just let them sit. Sometimes you want to let it breathe, but if you do want to fill that space with some motion, an octave fill is going to be stronger. There is going to be stronger than just a. See the difference? Now you can also take this idea of the sixth. And you can kind of bring in that with the octave to form the octave with the third. This is going to be really flexible, and it's going to kind of go back and forth with the open octave. So you can even go to the 4-note chord. So you see here, have various combinations. I might be here. I might play a 4-note chord. I might voice it like this. Why am I taking out the third? Because I have it in the bass, of course. So there's varying ways that I can bring in this idea of an octave fill or a harmonic sixth fill. And the final thing that I want to sort of draw your attention to in regards to fills is that you want to think about inverting the octave or the register. When we speak of register, that just means the general region or location in which the sound happens. So, great is thy faithfulness, O God my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Now that's fine. There's nothing wrong with staying there, but you notice that I'm staying in one register. And generally in the fills, in those spaces where I can do some things, that's where I'm going to invert the octave, or I'm going to use the octave fill to change the register. So you see that I'm moving back and forth. Again, sometimes that's too much and you don't want to draw too much attention. But if you want to add variety to your playing and you want to utilize that upper register, you're going to use that. You're going to utilize that upper register through the tasteful introduction of octave fills, octave with inner harmonies. So those are some examples of fills. No, but you can also use octave fills to drive sort of counter melodies or other themes. So I'll show you just an example. Let's take the solid rock. I'll play it in the key of E flat again. So if I'm going to open the solid rock with maybe a really simple kind of motive that's going to be driving, I might be like this. Built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. I dare not trust the sweetest frame, but wholly lean on Jesus' name. So there I'm staying in open octaves. And rather than even just using them as a melodic fill that really goes back and forth with the primary melody, it's actually functioning as a truly independent, a second theme that complements the main melody. Now I made that up on the spot, and some of those harmonies may not have been ideal, but you can hear the point there, which is that the octaves are just providing both rhythmic interest, forward drive, as well as kind of a theme or a motive that can come back to unify the arrangement. Now in the next tutorial we're actually going to talk more about that, intros, interludes, and outros, and how we use thematic material or little motives like this. To give consistency to the piece. To conclude, with fills, just a reminder, you can do fills that are static, that really sit in one place. My hope is built on nothing less than Jesus. So there I had an example both of a static sort of fill as well as some octaves that went places. Then I could go, on Christ the solid rock I stand. You hear that? So. So there's an example of several kinds of fills, melodic sixths, open octaves, as well as fuller four-note octaves in the right hand. I'm inverting or changing the register to draw interest to the upper register and coming back down. And I'm also then using open octaves to create sort of a continuity, a return to a theme. Just a small sampling of the many ways that you can use fills in your playing.